want to welcome all of you. In this video, I'm going to show you a relatively new online money-making method, which is called binary options. For those who do not know anything about the binary options, I am going to enlighten them and also show a strategy that can be copied by anyone and does not even require prior knowledge, but helps you earn $100 to $150 easily in only 1 to 2 hours a day. But let's have a look at what binary options really are. As I mentioned, it is a way of trading where you have to decide whether the price of a certain asset will be higher or lower in a previously defined future moment. That asset can be anything what is listed on the stock exchange, so we can talk about shares, commodities, currency pairs, and others. One of the specialties of the binary trading is that you only have to guess the direction, so the extent of the change does not matter. In case you guess the direction right, you can make profit. The other specialty is that the positions can be opened for an excessively short time period because transactions at most brokers could run 1, 2, or 5 minutes long. It means, in case you guess the direction right, you can make 70%, and this way your money can be doubled within some minutes. Let's have a look at an example, how it looks in reality. Now I am logged in at a brokerage firm, and it can be seen that I am now paying attention to the Euro-US dollar exchange rate. I set a 5-minute long time period. To be able to trade, I only have to do one thing. I have to set how many dollars I want to trade with. Let's say I set $50. I will look at the present exchange rate, then I will have to decide whether the exchange rate will be higher or lower within 5 minutes. I think the exchange rate will be higher. You can see below, in case I guess right, I can get a payment of 76%. So I can make $88 from $50, and all these within only 5 minutes. It is important to mention that it doesn't matter how the exchange rate moves within 5 minutes. Only one thing matters. Is the exchange rate higher or lower at the end of the 5 minutes? Of course, it is not that easy. If you were to guess the direction on your own, it would be just the same as gambling away your money in an online casino, because there is only a 50% probability of winning. That is why I am going to show you a strategy with which you can bring your winning chances above 90%, so that the payment of $100 to $150 can be reached by anyone. To trade successfully, you have to understand two problems, which we have to eliminate while shaping our strategy. One problem is how to guess the direction of the change with good chances. As I mentioned, we do not want to gamble in an online casino and have 50% probability to guess the direction. That is why we have to find a good method that gives us higher probability to forecast the changes on the market. The second problem is that not each of our trading can succeed because there is no method that could guarantee us 100% probability that it could forecast whether the exchange rate of a share or a currency pair will be higher or lower. That is why we have to find a method to make winning positions from our losing ones. In the following, I am going to show you the solution to these particular problems so that you will also be able to copy these techniques and make money. So let's have a look at the first problem. How can the market trends be predicted? A short time ago, I drew a parallel between trading with options and gambling in online casinos, but there is a huge difference between them. In online or physical casinos, things happen accidentally. But when trading with options, the changes in the exchange rate of certain shares or currency pairs do not happen accidentally. They happen due to some economic events. These economic events can be predicted with a relative certainty by the help of different analytical methods like trend analysis. Easier to say whether we have to be acquainted with analytical methods or we have to find someone who can use these methods and does the calculations for us. For beginners, I would definitely advise the second variety, and I will show you what platform I use. This platform is Algobit. Algobit is the proprietary platform of the brokerage firm called Optionbit. About Optionbit, you have to know. This is one of the biggest brokerage firms trading with binary options all over the world. They have more than 250,000 active users, so OptionBit is considered a really reliable brokerage firm. Algobit is actually a signal service which is accessible for all the users of OptionBit for free. This signal service means that Algobit controls all the changes in the exchange rates of the commodities offered by OptionBit, and it also does the complicated calculations constantly. As soon as Algobit finds a trend that has a high probability of coming true, Algobit lists it for the user. So I just have to refresh the list in some minutes and follow the predictions. If you click on the link under the video, you can try out easily how it works. The question is how secure these predictions are. In 2012, Algobit won the Financial Innovations Award, so Algobit is very likely to forecast changes in the exchange rate. On the screen, I can show you how it works. Here, on the top, you can see the Signal button that you only have to click on to get fresh signals. At the next step, we have to choose the trends we like and the amount, how many dollars we want to implement our transaction with. We submit it and our trade is already active. You can see that the direction is set according to the signals, so we do not have to do anything with it. We can make a lot of money by only using Algobit, but this is important to mention, that this software is also fallible. It can frame us predictions, but the market is in a way unpredictable. Different economic events cannot be predicted either, so this way it can happen that some positions have to be finished with a loss. So the second part of the strategy is about to give you instructions how to make winning positions from losing ones. On the screen you can see that I have opened two positions with 5-minute time periods, and both are red, so they are losing positions. I have already explained that it does not matter whether the positions are red or green, so losing or winning ones right now, only one thing matters. How will these exchange rates look at the end of the 5 minutes? It can also happen that both of the positions will stay red after expiration. In such a scenario, I only have to open the same position before expiration again and choose the same direction or double the money. Of course, you could ask, does it make sense? The binary options can also be considered a bet with two probabilities. Will the exchange rate be higher or lower? The whole thing is quite similar to coin flipping. There are two outcomes, heads or tails. Let us assume that we bet $5 that the outcome of our coin flip will be heads. In this case, there is 50% probability to win $5 and 50% probability to lose $5. But what happens if we flip the coin 2 times? In this case, there are 4 possible outcomes. Both can be heads, 1 heads, 1 tails, 1 tails, 1 heads, or both of them can be tails. If you bet before the coin flip that the outcome will be heads, then it can be calculated relatively easily that you win in 3 cases from the 4 possible scenarios. In the first 3 cases, you can find at least 1 heads, and we only lose where there are 2 tails. The bet has to be doubled after each loss, because if you win with the doubled bet, you will not only win back $5 after losing, but make $5 profit. If you win any of the bets, you have to start over. The beauty of this technique is that the more often we double our bets, the higher the probability is to make money. If you pick one of the coin flips, then there is a 50% probability to both win and lose. But if you look at 5 consecutive coin flips, where our bet is heads, then we can only lose money in case the outcome will be tails 5 times in a row, what only has a very little chance. In short, the key point of our strategy is to secure ourselves practically twice, because Algobit is able to bring our chances to win over 50%. And with the double up method, we can make our loss-making trading turn into a profitable business. This way it is possible to make $100 to $150 with only $5 bets in an hour. As beginners, we only have to take care of not opening more than 2 to 3 options at the same time and not using more than 2 to 3% of our balance for the opening of a position. At Algobit, the minimum startup capital needs to be $200 and the minimum bet is $5. So let's open not more than 2 to 3 positions with $5 bets, because it can happen that we will have to double our positions from $5 to $10 to $20 or even $50, and this way we couldn't cover our whole trading. Of course, after some weeks, when our balance is above $1,000, the starting bet can be higher, even $10 to $20. Certainly, it is recommended to try the system out with $5 bets. At the end of the video, I want to show you an example how successfully this method can be used. Now I am going to show you an accelerated trading period of 30 minutes. I do not know how well you can see, but a trading is now happening with a balance of 6,000 euros and 50 euro bets. Of course, they are higher than the ones that beginners start with, but except for that, it is exactly the same method. So we follow the signals of Algobit and double the losing positions. The experienced traders can open more than 2 to 3 positions. I usually open 4 positions because for me, trading is more comfortable this way. Over 4 positions, it is a bit complicated to follow all the positions you opened. Here you can see that you have to care of the doubled positions again and again. The results speak for itself. The trading started with 6,000 euros, and now the balance is at 6,800 euros, which means an 800 euro profit in a half an hour. It cannot be considered as something bad. Of course, if you trade only a part of 50 euros, like $5, then it also would be an $80 profit in a half an hour. As you can see, it is that easy. No prior knowledge is needed. So if you want to try it out, then click on the link under the video and you can open an Algobit account. An especially great piece of news, that OptionBit gives you a bonus for the first deposit. As I mentioned, the minimum deposit is $200, which is granted with a 30% bonus. Over $500 and $1,000, you can have more bonus payments, so I can only recommend them.